So briefly, I wanted to discuss three different types of testing. There are more types of testing out there, but these are the three most common ones that you're going to run into. And it's not complicated wrapping your mind around it, but it's easy to get them confused. So I wanted to outline how this worked. So first of all, we have unit testing. The idea behind unit testing, which we talked about briefly just a moment ago, is that you want to be able to test an individual unit. And the unit is most often a class, and you want to be able to test that unit on its own. The way that we do unit tests and write them is with an application called PHP Unit, and we'll install that next and take a look at how to use it. The next type of testing is functional testing, and the most common type of functional testing that we're going to do for Drupal is in the browser. This is the kind of testing that you'll do manually when you're trying to confirm that you made a configuration change and it held properly. For example, you change your home page, and then you go to the home page and make sure that it's actually changed. Or you add a block, and then you go to the place where you set that block to display to make sure that it shows. So you're doing manual functional testing then. But we can automate that with a couple different tools. One of the ones that we've used most commonly in Drupal is Simple Test. This allows us to basically spin up a fake browser. We can submit forms, we can navigate to different pages, and then the tests themselves verify something on the page. For example, we want to make sure that a certain piece of text does or doesn't show on the page. And so the test itself will be just that check to see, hey, does this text actually exist? Each check like that is an individual test. And we might do several tests for a single page or single component that we want to test. By wrapping this kind of testing inside of Simple Test, we can do some simple verifications that would normally be very time-consuming and error-prone to do manually. You can also write functional tests that support JavaScript, which is something that Simple Test doesn't, by using Selenium. And we have some videos on how to use Selenium in another collection. So these are the two different types of testing where you're actually going to write tests of a specific type. This third type that I wanted to mention, regression testing, is actually a type of unit or functional test. The idea is that if you run across a bug, or you introduce a bug by adding some new code or new functionality to your application, once you fix it, you want to make sure that that bug never comes back. And so regression testing is simply writing a test, either a functional test or a unit test, that checks to make sure that that bug doesn't come back. So again, regression testing is either a unit or a functional test. It's not its own thing that uses its own tools. It either uses PHP Unit or Simple Test or Selenium. It's just the reason why you built the test is probably different than the reason why you originally build unit or functional tests. So now that we've covered this, let's take a look at PHP Unit and build some unit tests.